I couldn't resist. Thank you and welcome to another episode of My Script, My Story. With your host, artist, and Shamika.
Yay!
And we bring you another episode that's a little more serious this time. We've had fun with the episodes in the past, just to relax a little bit, just to show you that Christians can be fun too by doing some things. But this one is just a little more touchy. So the title of this one is Forgive and Let Go. Woo! There's so many of us that hold so many burdens and bitterness and all of that turns into revenge and hatefulness, and it just plays a part, and that doesn't only affect us as a person, but it affects people around us.
True.
So one of the things that I have a problem with that I had to deal with was learning how to forgive somebody. And when I had all that unforgiving spirit, I was bitter, I was hateful, I was always angry, and it controlled me. You know, if something, like, say for instance, I didn't like you. Every time I saw you, ooh, everything that,
like me.
I don't like you, everything that you stood for just played back. And it would just keep playing back over and over again in my head, and then I would become angry again.
Wow.
And then from there, it was like, oh, I just want her to feel like how I feel.
Right.
So then that's when the revenge kicked in. But
in actuality,
you wasn't thinking about me. Didn't care one way or another, and you went on with your daily life. But, you know, that's just a hypothetical thing with saying that. So, you know, what I did was I went in the Bible, and one of the things that is in there a lot is forgiveness. You have to forgive others in order for God to forgive you for your sins. So in the book, which is the Bible, forgive is in there 56 times.
Really?
Forgiven appears in there 42 times.
Really?
And forgiveness appears in there 7 times. So you have to, in order to do this walk, you have to have a clean slate. You have to understand that, you know, one of the things is God don't need you walking around bitter and trying to encourage and empower others. How can I encourage you when I got all this rage inside of me?
Yeah.
So one of the scriptures that I did have, let's see, dots, is Mark 11:25.
Okay.
And it says, and whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who in heaven may forgive you for your trespasses. So when I'm praying, now I pray for those who I had all that bitterness for and all that hatefulness for. But like I said, the only way that I can be forgiven for any of the things that I've done, I have to forgive who it is I was mad at.
Because like you said, they don't know that you have not forgiven them. They don't know that you're angry or bitter, because it can be somebody else. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the person that you had the situation with.
Right.
It can be someone that's attached to that person in some kind of way. And we find that a lot, because I remember back in the day, if my friends didn't like you, I didn't like you.
Right.
If you crossed my friend and you cheated with her boyfriend, then I don't like you either.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but why don't I like you? I don't even know you. You
Right.
don't even know me, but you walking around like happy-go-lucky. But me, I'm like, every time I see you, it's like, I don't even like her.
Right.
I don't even like her. But
Yeah.
she's like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't even know of you. So
I mean, it's not even necessarily even in outside situations. Sometimes it could be family members, you know, that have done things to you in the past that you just couldn't get past.
right, true.
And, you know, it could be a lot of things.
True.
Even with ourselves.
We don't forgive ourselves a lot for some of the things that we've gone through or are going through. And we hold all that in. We hold it deep inside, and we're blocking our heart. We're blocking God being able to get in, to change us, to manifest within us, to grow within us. How can we grow as Christians if we cannot forgive others or ourselves? And that was one of our challenges that we had put out there in our 7-day challenge, was being able to forgive ourselves.
Right.
I can't keep beating myself up for something that I've done wrong or I feel like I've done wrong.
Right.
If God has forgiven me, because what he is a forgiving God. If he has forgiven me for whatever it is that I'm beating myself over, why can't I forgive myself? Who else is better to forgive you than God? You know, it's like
top notch.
And if I've asked him for forgiveness, accept it.
Right.
Move on, let it go.
Right.
It's not going to do anything but eat you up.
You have to.
I can't die and get to the altar and he's like, I'm sorry you just missed it. But why? You didn't forgive yourself. I've worked hard to get on this walk and this journey just to get to the altar for you to tell me, no, wait a minute, can I just get an ease into the gate, like just a little pinch?
You can't even get a glimpse, not even a glimpse. You have, and you ask yourself, when you are harboring all these rage and bitterness, you have to ask yourself, you know, how many times have I done somebody wrong?
And they've forgiven me.
Yeah, but yet I'm so hateful towards everybody else. So where this becomes touchy to me is so much hatefulness, hatred in this world, as far as the killings, senseless abuse. For what?
What's your purpose?
Because you're mad at somebody. You mad at somebody because they stepped on your Jordans, or somebody spilled something on you, or somebody looked at you. Let it go.
You in the club. The club is crowded.
Yeah, but I mean, not even in the sense of being in a club. People do this. I've seen somebody talking crazy to somebody because in the mall.
Walmart. We see all the Walmart.
Yeah, they got Walmart.com Walmart people. I mean, but that's where you forgive somebody and say, let it go.
My bad. I didn't mean it. Keep on going.
I mean,
that turns into a whole nother situation. Then now the friends is mad at the friend, the family's mad, everybody going to retaliate and back and forth. And now two people have drawn in a multitude of people into this. As we've seen with the riots or things that have been. One person shot between them and the cop has turned into a whole city who has now rioted against people who had nothing to do with anything.
It's just too much hatefulness. I mean, in order for us to get to the next step of any kind of healing, we have to forgive. You have to say, I forgive that person.
You'll never forget.
You don't forget.
You never forget.
But you gotta let God handle that. It's called karma. Karma is the biggest punishment ever.
It will
trust me
back.
Let God deal with it, whatever that situation is. Let God deal with that. You just forgive and do whatever it is that you're supposed to do so that you can overall get into the kingdom. That's the biggest thing, because I'm going to tell you, and this is from personal experience, when I forgave somebody for all the things that they did to me, I have never had the biggest release ever. One thing that I did not know how to do is I didn't know how to forgive. I didn't. I was...
That's hard, because I'm sure people will be asking, how?
I had to just do it.
How do you forgive?
And it can be done a couple of ways. I approach the person and say, you know what? I forgive you for everything that you've done to me. And I apologize to you for anything that I've ever done to you. But I cannot allow you to keep having control over my life, because every time that I see you, I become angry because of all the things that you've done to me. I refuse to allow you to have that much control over my life when you still doing whatever it is that you're doing, and I'm over here miserable and upset.
And you moved on to somebody else miserable.
So it's just like, until I did that, I couldn't move forward. So that's when I had to take time and reevaluate who I was, and to understand that I gotta focus on me. So that's when I said, and I tell people, I am single by choice, because I had to date myself to like who I was, because I couldn't go to the next person because I'm taking all this balled up to the next person.
And it's not healthy.
It's not.
You can lose the next best thing for you by just taking your old dramas with you just to be with somebody. It's not that deep.
It's not.
Learn who you are, because you have such a better relationship with that person.
You do.
When you give them your all and you're free of everything that you've ever been through. You cannot give them your all when you still have half of it in a previous situation.
Yeah.
And your mind, every time you out with your new boo and you see your old boo and you like, I bet he was cheating on me with her when he was with me, and I bet he was abusing her like he abused me. I bet he took her money like he took my money. Whatever the situation.
Right.
But you're feeling it. And now your new boo's sitting there going like, hello.
Yeah,
I'm right here. You still in love, but you're really not in love. It's just you're angry.
Yep.
Why are you angry? Why does this person have this hold on you? Like,
because you
allow you like this
every time,
everywhere you go.
But my thing is that when you allow that person to have that much control over you, you can't think straight.
You can't.
Then that's when you get to plotting and planning.
Conniving,
and it's just like
deceitfulness, all the other sins and the temptations come into play. And who have you now put on the shelf? God.
Yep.
You put him back to the side. Everything that you say you
got
believe
this little
in,
angel on your shoulder saying, yeah, go ahead.
get him.
Talk crazy, But I'm just telling you.
Repent later.
Yeah.
Repent later.
When I let all of that go, I was able to make my next level with God. Because then I started seeing a lot of things, and I was like, okay, done me. I'm sitting here upset. It now don't get me wrong, it didn't happen overnight.
No.
But when I did it, I felt so much better. And it was like I didn't even think about the whole situation. Nothing had even happened. I didn't think about it anymore.
The whole time you're like, all your free time is consumed with it.
And reenactment.
And you're like, whoa, hours done gone. You're laying in the bed, you can't sleep right, you're stressed, you wonder why your chest hurts.
I can't stand this hurt. I can't
you're
believe it.
you can't sleep good, you're like, I don't feel good, you're getting sick all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, why my body breaking down? And this person over there, do.
Yeah. So it's
Happy
just,
good days.
You have to allow God to move in the direction that he need to go into. That's why he said cast all his cares onto him. It's just like you have to forgive. You have to let go. You have to allow God to do the things that he needs to do. You have to let him fight your battle, because that's what he is here for.
Yes.
He is here to make sure he is surrounding you. You're behind him. He is your fence.
Yes.
He's your covering. Allow him. Forgive. Let go. I know some people done some things. Somebody may have killed your child. You have to forgive that person.
There's a lot of things other than relationship-wise.
Yes.
I mean, a boss that you feel like has done you wrong.
Forgive them and keep it pushing.
A co-worker, your sister, your mother, your father, your children.
Keep it pushing.
It's more than just somebody cut you off on the road. I mean,
you're
going to be mad all the way till you get to your destination. And then you got to tell the people what happened because you got to vent.
Yeah.
And let it out. And let it all
why
out
you doing all that? You ain't even got to tell
and
nobody.
That person drove on by steady.
Pray about that and keep it pushing. They ain't got to go nowhere between you and God.
Don't mess up your Christian walk, your path, your relationship with God, and everything that he stands for, harboring these things. And some unforgiveness are just small. Mm-hmm. I have a relationship with someone, a family member who we go like this. We're such a up and down, up and down. I know every 6 months we're going to be up or we're going to be down. We're going to be up or we're going to be down. I mean, we just can't help but to butt those heads. I forgive you, and I move on, but it's still not right. And I feel like it's not right because we haven't face-to-faced it.
Right.
But every time we face it, we right back, locked in arms, going forward until something comes up. And it's always, Shamika, you the bigger cousin, and you the bossy one. You've been bossy since we was little kids.
Yeah, you are bossy. Well, yeah. Well, we forgive you.
I am not bossy, for the record.
Well, that's something to sit down that you and that cousin need
we
to.
do. We definitely need to sit down
one-on-one.
and and move forward. You know, we're not getting any younger. And I always say that with family, you never know who may be that family member that you need that blood transfusion from.
Yeah.
You never know who's your bone marrow match. You never know who's your kidney match.
Right.
You don't know. So why should I be angry when the one person who can save my life is in my family?
Right. Forgive. Y'all need to set that up. But yeah, I mean, but the biggest thing, in order for you, if you are doing your Christian walk, you have to forgive. That's one of the biggest things. Like I just said, there's so many times in the Bible you have to forgive. You have to let it go. Leave it into God's hands. He can take care of it. Don't forget. Just put it in that file cabinet way in the back of your mind and just know, this right here taught me a lesson. I know not to do it again. I need to move forward. I can't allow anything to have a chokehold around my neck, holding me back. You got to break those chains off. Right. Forgive yourself. Just start thinking, when somebody do something to you, you got to let that go, because how many times have I done something to somebody else? So you have to. So, you know, it's just forgive.
Know that God is always going to be there for you. He's going to keep you covered. As you said, He is the fence. He will protect you. He will surround you. He is going to walk with you. You just have to walk in His footsteps and be guided by Him, because He will change you. He'll change your heart. He'll change your feelings. When you go into prayer, Father God, I need you to come into me. Release the things that are keeping me from growing. Release the things that are keeping me from getting closer to you. Release the things that are keeping me from the destinies that you've designed for me. Lord God, I know that you have greater for me, but I cannot reach my greater because I'm blocking it with something else. Open up my heart. Fill it with your joy. Fill it with your love. Fill it with the fruits of the Spirit. Fill it with the things that are going to help me to be better in my walk, for my children, for my family, for my spouse, whoever it may be, to be a better coworker, to be a better boss, manager, woman of God, man of God. You know, grow in me, God. I need you. And every day you pray that prayer and you take the steps to make the changes, He will free you. He will let it go. He will remove it, and it'll be like, did that really happen in my life? Did that situation ever come up? And when you face that person face to face, hi, how you doing? All right, well, it's nice seeing you. Hope everything's going well with you. And they're going to be like, is that who I think it is? Because even though me and my cousin had our zigzag of life, when we see each other, we do hug and speak. We just haven't had our one-on-one conversation. But it has not stopped us from being cordial to one another. And when you get to that point, you know, I've had people cross me in a way I'm like, no, you didn't. But now when you get to the point, you're like, how you doing? Well, it's nice seeing you. And you're like, I have grown in Christ. God has definitely, and when they see it, then that lets you know, God, you show up to other people through me. I am the vessel that you wanted to use. Because if somebody like me, who had all of this, and somebody can be like, who is she? You know, she's definitely doing something different. Then I know He's real. You don't got to tell nobody else.
He'll show up and show out through somebody else. I mean, because like my testimony to two people, and I think it was, one was a mutual forgiveness. So I'm not calling, you know, genders or names, but I can say I'm really cool with one, and I am totally close to the other. So, you know, and these was for real headbangers. So, I mean, forgive. You never know what the outcome may be.
You never know what God is going to do when you
never know.
You never know.
So it's saying that wraps up another one of our episodes. So it's just, forgiveness has been weighing heavy on. This is one of my pet peeves, and I've said this on the Facebook page when I was posting the scriptures about forgiveness. It's just a big thing for me, because you'll never get to the next level if you don't learn how to forgive. So we thank you for tuning in. You have to understand that your testimony, Okay, I don't care. I ain't edited in this. Your mess is a message for somebody else. Your test is a testimony. And we would love to hear any comments, ideas, or how you even think how me and Shamika are doing at myscriptmystory@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. I'm missing one.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
We all over social media. If you can't find us, just go into Google search box and put in My Script, My Story. You will find us because we love to have you.
Just put in
support
Shamika
us.
and Artist. We will pop up.
The biggest thing, you can catch us on YouTube. So we thank you for tuning in. Take the time out to forgive somebody. Like I said, the 7-day challenge that we have, use that as a daily ritual. You don't have to do it in the 7 days and then that's done. Use that in your everyday life.
Make it a life.
So we love you. We thank you for supporting us. Have a blessed one.
Bye-bye.
Listen, I'm delivered. I want you to know that. Here's my story. Life and favor. Thank you for bringing me out. You don't know. You think you know, but let me tell it. Life and favor. God, thank you for your mercy. God of mercy. And you love me. Life and favor. Oh, how wondrous. God is my story. Life and favor.